So today I'm going to share you a solution to a problem on column-based plate. Okay, so this time we're going to design a column-based plate based on its most economical design. Okay, so let me share my screen. Okay, so for this problem, sample problem number 11, design the most economical A36 steel-based plate to resist a column of W14 by 500 given its properties below, the D and the BF. Based from the given service dead loads and live load, then the FC prime is 27 megapascals. Then the pedestal is 700 by 700 square. So there is a note in the problem that the steel-based plate is not resting on full area of the concrete pedestal. Okay? So again, we're asked about the design. Okay? Okay, so the first part of the solution would be, since most economical siya, so we could equate equals M equals N. Okay, so that is the given condition whenever we need to have a most economical design. The M dimension sa taas baba must be equal to the dimensions of N sa gilid. Okay, that is against bending. Okay, so what is M? Okay, what is M? So based from the figure, diba, yung M is yung capital N minus 0.95 of D over 2. Tapos, ano yung N? Yung N naman yung sa gilid na dimension, that is coming from the B minus 0.8 of BF over 2. Okay, so substitute lang natin yung dimensions ng D tsaka BF. So 0.95 of D. D is 497. 0.8 equals B minus 0.8 of BF. Okay, BF is 432.1. Okay, so cancel naman yung 2. No, makancel lang din naman yung 2. So, ibig sabihin, from this equation, I could have a relationship of N equals B plus, or tingnan natin, 0.95 of 497.8 minus 0.8 of BF, 432.1. So we got, so the plus 127.23. Okay, so this would be our first working equation. So ibig sabihin, based from this first equation, yung most economical base plate natin will never be square. Ibig sabihin, yung N dimension daw, mas malaki siya ng 127 mm kaysa dun sa B. So it would never be a square. So that is our first equation. Okay, so yung next equation natin would be considering the possible failure. Okay, so considering the possible failure. So let us una consider yung bearing failure based on bearing on pedestal. Okay, so pedestal. So that would be PP should be greater than or equal to P sub U. Okay. Now, ano yung P sub U? Solve natin muna yung P sub U. P sub U is the ultimate load, so that would be 1.2 of the dead load. Dead load is 13. Okay, plus 1.6 of the live load. And the live load is 19. Ayan. So from there, I could solve now for the P ultimate. 1.2 times 13 plus 1.6 times 19. Okay, so I got 4,600. That's kilonewton for 6. Okay, now, of course, yung P is 0.65. Now, ano yung P sub U? P sub B. Okay, so as you can see, as given the problem, the base plate would be less than full area. So kung less than full area siya, so that would be PP is 0.85 FC prime A1, tas may correction factor tayo na A2 over A1. A2 over A1. then we have to check it with the limit that it should be less than or equal to 1.7 FC prime A1. Okay? So ganyan. Now, so let's look at the given, no? So if you look at the base plate, I mean the pedestal is square. Okay, so let's say you have this square pedestal which is 700 by 700. Okay, then we have the base plate. Okay, the base plate is rectangle. So let's say B by N. Okay, so ito yung base plate, ito yung B, unknown, ito yung N. Okay, so ibig sabihin, yung A1 natin from here is equal to B times N. Now, what about yung ano natin? Yung A2. Okay, so let me assume that this is A2. Maximize ko yung dimension na 700 na yon. Tapos, I'll be looking at this dimension. So, di bali 700 by Z. So, let me call this as Z. Yung Z natin ito. Ito yung dimension na Z. Kasi they have to be proportional with the orange, with the base plate. Eh. So, again, yung A2 ko is 700 times Z. But, okay, so but, what is Z? By ratio proportion, Z is to 700. Diba? Z is to 700 as B is to N. Ratio proportion. Z is to 700, yung kulay green. Tapos B is to N, yung orange. So from there, I could say that our Z is equal to 700B over N. Ayan. So substituting that value of Z in the A2, okay, so yung A2 natin lalabas is 700 times Z. Z is 700 uli. So dalawang 700 B over N. So yan na yung A2. Okay, so when we substitute it back on this equation, okay, substitute it back here. Okay, so when we substitute it back, so our, diba, yung PP should be greater than P sub U. So we have 0.65, yan yung P. Ano yung PP? PP is 0.85. So we have 0.85. FC prime is 27. Okay? Tapos A1. A1 is B times N. Tapos square root of A2. Ang A2 natin is 700 square B over N. Yan yung A2. Tapos yung A1. Yung A1 natin is B tsaka N ulit. Okay? So yan yung P sub P natin. Should be greater than or equal to PU. PU natin is 4,600. Kaya lang, kilonewton. Gawin ko siya newton para maging consistent siya to the 3. Consistent siya with the unit. Okay? So that is to the 3. Okay, so next. So from this equation, so di bali cancel yung B. Di ba cancel yung B. Tapos yung N square. Okay, so yung N square, get the square root of N square, it would be N. So makakancel lang din yung N dito. So ano matitira? So ang natira is 0.65, tapos 0.85, 27, tapos yung natira na lang yung B. At saka 700. Yung square root of 700 square. Tama? Okay? So should be greater than or equal to 46,000. Okay, so from here, I could solve now for B dimension. So 46 divided by 0.65, 0.85, 27, 700. So we got 440. 51, 8 millimeter. So let me store it sa shift store sa A. Shift store sa A. Ayan, naka-store na siya sa A. Now, so knowing B, babalikan ko yung first equation natin kanina. yung B plus 127.23. Okay, so let us substitute 127.23. So substitute. Okay. Substitute B in equation 1. Okay, so ano yung equation 1 natin? We have N is equal to B. So that's N is equal to B. Okay. 518 plus 127.23. So from there, I could have N value. 127.23 is 567.748 millimeter. Let me store it sa B. Shift store ko sa B. So basically, yan na yung sagot. Okay, so ito yung B, kasi ito yung N. So for this case, hindi ko yung round up. No? Hindi ko siya round up. Okay, so kasi para eksakto yung most economical. Pero before we accept these final answers, we have to verify pa rin. So let us check the limit. So check if yung P sub P natin is less than the limit of 1.7 FC prime A1. Okay, so let us check. Okay, ano yung PP ulit? PP is 0.85 FC prime. Okay. B times N. So B times N. Tapos square root of 700 square B over N times Bn. Okay? So, yan yung PP natin. I-check natin siya kung less than siya ng 1.7 FC prime, which is B times N. Okay? So, substitute lang natin. Okay? So, 0.85 times 27 times 700 times B, alpha A. So this is 7,076,923.077. Is it less than? Check natin. 1.7 times FC from 27 times B times N. So that is 11,479,741. So sabihin, okay naman. No? So less than. So okay naman siya. So sabihin, tama yung answers na to. So this would be a valid answer for B and N. Okay? Now, next. So, what about for the thickness? What about for the thickness? So this is considering now the second failure, diba? Kasi yung unang failure natin is bearing on pedestal. So let us consider now bending. So let us consider now bending. So bending on base plate. So from there we have derived, diba, yung thickness is equal to L, then square root of 2 PU divided by 0.9 BN tapos FY. Diba yan yung derived formula natin? So substitute lang natin. Let us substitute values. Okay. So ano muna yung L? So ano muna yung L? It's the M, the N, or the N prime. Okay. So solve natin. So solve natin muna yung M. Okay. So as you can see, M would be equal to N, diba? N minus 0.95 of D over 2. So yung N natin, yung 567, 0.748 minus 0.95 of D, ang D natin is 497.8, 497.8, 497.8. Okay, so over 2. Okay, minus 0.95 of 497.8 divided by 2. So we got 47. 47.419. Shift star ko sa C. And actually, this is also equal to N, diba? Kasi equal naman sila eh. Kasi most economical eh. Shift store is equal. Okay? So, yan yung N prime. How about N prime? So, yung N prime, yung kay Thornton, 1/4 square root of D, 497.8. Ano yung BF? BF niya, 4321. Okay, so 4321. 432.1. So, yan yung BF. So, yung N prime ni Thornton is square root of 497.8 times 432.1. Okay, divided by 4. 115.947. Store ko sa D. Actually, ito yung nag-govern. Letter, yung ano, kay Thornton, diba? Siya yung nag-govern. So, therefore, use small letter n equals yung kay Thornton, n prime, which is 115.947. Okay, so substituting values in the equation. Okay, so our thickness becomes L, 115.947, then square root of 2 PU. Ano yung PU natin? 46 ba yun? Times 10 to the 3. Let me check. 46, tama. Newtons. Tapos divided by 0.9 BF, BN. So we have 0.9. You have the B. Ikapain ko lang yung B. 440. Okay, so basta ano ko lang B. Tapos N. Tapos yung Fy natin is A36 steel. Okay, so A36 steel. So we have 248. Ayan. So from there, using our calculator, 15 times square root of 2 times 46 divided by 0.9 divided by B. Okay, so the answer is 47.0702 millimeters. So ito yung pinaka-eksaktong thickness for us to make the most economical design. Okay? So the final answer would be, so what are the final answer? So the thickness is 47.0702 mm. Okay, so we have the base, we have the N. The N is 567.748. Tapos yung B naman, 440. 518. So these are expressed in millimeter. Again, these three are the most economical. So very theoretical yung sagot na yan kasi naka-eksakto yan, no? Up to 3 decimal places. So eksakto. Okay, so pagka tinanong kayo, what are the exact dimensions of the most economical base plate? So this would be our final answer. Okay, so thank you. So I hope you have learned out of this sample problem.